I'm Andrew.
I'm Alyssa.
This is 12 Days of Vlogmas. Now on to the video.
Cheers.
This is Braggin's Adventures. Hey everybody, it's Andrew from Braggin's Adventures, and today we're going to take you on board the Carnival Miracle for a 10-day Alaskan cruise. We're going to start this video with day 1 through 4, and then there'll be a part 2 and a part 3 because this is a 10-day cruise, so we've got a lot to pack in. We're going to start with embarkation. We left out of San Francisco. Honestly, the port was a fairly easy process if you are smart enough to ask questions. It can be a little confusing if you just walk up. It's real easy to get in the wrong lines, but if you just find an employee and say, hey, where do we go? This is what we want to do. They'll point you in the right direction. You start outside in the line queuing up if you're checking your luggage. Otherwise, head inside. You're going to go up the stairs or escalator or take the elevator, and you'll do the whole check-in process indoors. It's a wall of windows, which is kind of nice because you can actually see the ship that you're about to get on from inside the terminal, and I thought that was really kind of cool. Very long walk the way this port's set up to get actually on the ship. It's a zigzag back and forth. A lot of hairpin turns there, but not too shabby at all. And we are finally on the ship now. So excited to be on board the Carnival Miracle. There's a view of the port of San Francisco from up on one of the upper decks. Coit Tower there in the background. Just a beautiful day to go cruising, don't you think? Now, the first thing obviously that we did when we got on board the ship was hit that muster grill. They've made it so easy now with the e-muster. You walk up, depending on the ship, and if you've cruised before, you might have to watch a teeny video or a brief demonstration in your small group. But like they asked us, hey, have you been on this ship before? And we were like, yeah. And they said, great, you're good. Mark this off, and we went. All right, so obviously after the muster grill, the first thing we have to do is eat. So we headed up to the Lido Marketplace Buffet and got a variety of tasty food to put on our plates. Now, I don't know about you, but that first meal is so special and so important. It's like so exciting to grab that first meal once you get on board. Sometimes we hit the Lido Buffet, sometimes we're gonna hit Blue Iguana, sometimes we're gonna hit Guy's Burger, sometimes we might grab a slice of pizza. Just depends on kind of mood. And today, we went right ahead to the buffet. We sat inside. It's a little loud and it's a little crowded in there because everybody is eating as soon as they get on board. But you know what? If you're patient, you're gonna have a good time. Obviously, we grabbed a drink at the bar as well so that we can enjoy our first libation on board the ship. We decided we were still hungry though, so we headed outside to Guy's Burger Joint and grabbed a couple of burgers from there. You know, the rule of cruising is gluttony, right? Let me tell you, Guy's Burger Joint is absolutely amazing. If you haven't watched it yet, we do have a video where you can see we review every single burger available on the Guy's menu. It was super fun to do that over these 10 days. You know, there's not really a bad burger there, in all honesty. Hey guys, it is sail away time. We're up on deck 9, 10, 11, right by the giant funnel there. The reason I like the Spirit class ships, the Miracle, the Legend, the Spirit, is this space is kind of an unused, untapped space. So everyone is obviously around the edges of the ship because we're sailing away. We're up here with 4 other people on the deck. We're on 5 other people-ish. Yeah. It's kind of a private, quiet space, and there's not a very visible staircase to get up here. You actually have to go inside to where the steakhouse is and then take a staircase up. Yeah. So it's quiet, it's peaceful. We've got Sailaway, we're going to show you about it, and then we're going to go under the San Francisco Bridge.
So excited.
Cheers. Guys, I've never really been much of one to care about Sailaway, but when you were leaving out of the San Francisco port, you absolutely care about Sailaway. We're up on this deck and we're actually going to go under the Golden Gate Bridge, and I was looking so forward to doing this since we planned the cruise because we had seen other videos of ships going under it, and I just think it's so cool. When we leave out of Long Beach, there's not really anything to look at. I mean, you wave bye to the Queen Mary, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's exciting, but I didn't need to be up on deck for those kinds of sailaways. But in San Francisco, make sure you find a good spot up top because going under the bridge is one of the coolest experiences of my life. I absolutely loved it. It was nice to be up there with a cocktail, Liz and I just hanging out and checking it out and filming. And just this experience right now, if you get dizzy easily, maybe look away for a minute. but so much fun, guys. It's absolutely one of the coolest things that you could possibly do. If you get a chance to cruise out of San Francisco, I really do think you should. All right, up next, we are gonna head to get ready for dinner. Right after sail away, we had a reservation at the steakhouse, so we're gonna head inside the steakhouse, which is located in the funnel. We had a 6 p.m. reservation, and I want to take you inside and show you a little bit of what we ate, but we do have a full steakhouse review video that you can check out as well. I'll link to at the end of this video. At the steakhouse, Nick and Nora's Steakhouse here on the Carnival Miracle. First time ever doing the steakhouse on a Carnival ship. Alyssa, thoughts?
It was really good. The food was definitely
big plus.
Delicious. Big plus. Service was a little slow. Like, we had, our reservation was at 6.
What time is it?
It is 8:57.
It's 9. 3 hours at the steakhouse. That's too long for any kind of meal. And I feel like it's intentional. Like, in some way, they're like, okay, we're going to bring them this course, let them finish it, let them chat for a bit, clear the dishes, then let them digest. And it's too long. Bring me the next course already. I'm ready to eat. And here is why that's an issue. By the time I got to dessert, I was full because I ate so slowly over these courses. It gave you time to get full. Bring them quickly and I will finish the dessert. I didn't finish it because I was stuffed.
I didn't finish my dessert either, but I brought it with me because you can get little to-go containers. Because that cheesecake was phenomenal. If you like cheesecake, you will not be disappointed.
I didn't eat anything bad. The food is really where it's at. You're paying for the food. You're not paying for the service.
No.
All of that being said, though, the steakhouse manager on the ship, one of the coolest, nicest guys I've ever met. If you go on the first night, it's a complimentary bottle of wine. And I know that at the beginning of fall, they changed the policy where it's a bottle per couple. It used to be a bottle per table, bottle per party. I met him earlier in the day. We had some chats, and he hooked us up. We got 3 bottles for our table, and I thought that was really cool. As always, please tip your service staff on the cruise ship, okay? I threw him a 20, which is nothing for 3 bottles of wine. He earned it. He was friendly. He was personable. Good guy.
He was hilarious.
Hilarious. He was super funny. He had a good time with us. Our waitress was fine enough. It was just like, I feel like the process is too slow there. Yeah. But the one thing on these Spirit ships is the steakhouse is inside the funnel, inside the Carnival funnel.
That's pretty.
So it's a cool atmosphere. Worth one time. Do I ever need to do a steakhouse again? I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I mean,
not if it's a 3-hour process.
Yeah. I mean, the food. I mean, I can't get over. Actually, you know what? One of my favorite things was the mushrooms.
Oh yeah. You love those. You love those.
It was so good.
The lobster was obviously amazing. The mac and cheese.
Oh, the mac and cheese was really good too.
My baked potato with the fixings was just a great cooked baked potato. The meat melted.
Yeah. My lobster bisque was delicious.
Oh yeah, the lobster bisque.
Yeah.
The shrimp cocktail was good.
Yeah.
The little wedge salad thing was good.
Yeah, honestly, food was really good. If we could shorten the time a little bit, and maybe we did have a large party too, so maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but that's too long, guys. I don't know. I don't think I'd do it again. Based off the wait time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would. Would you?
I don't know. It'd be nice to do it again and see a comparison if it was just the 2
If it was the 2 of us.
Yeah.
Alright guys, that's it for day 1, embarkation day. A lot of eating, a lot of drinking, a lot of good times. Let's catch some Z's, and then we will see you tomorrow morning for day 2, which is going to be a fun day at sea. We do have another video that shows everything you can do on a day at sea on board the Carnival ships, but I want to take you in order of how we experience this cruise. So we'll see you in the morning. Good night. Alright, good morning everybody. It is day 2 on board the Carnival Miracle for a fun day at sea, starting with a quick breakfast at the Blue Iguana Cantina. Now, Blue Iguana Cantina is one of my favorite places for a port day breakfast because it is fairly quick and you can get a nice hearty breakfast burrito to scarf down before you get off the ship at port. But it turns out it's also a great place to eat on a sea day. That being said, if you have not watched our video for the Blue Iguana Cantina, we did a whole review video where we ate everything on their menu, breakfast and lunch. Check that video out after this one. All right, guys, before we continue our day of eating and drinking, we're going to do some arts and crafts. Arts and crafts are complimentary on board the ship, any Carnival ship, in fact, and you can locate what arts and crafts are going to be offered in the Hub app. So we're going to make this nautical bracelet. This particular one took place in the atrium at the lobby bar, which means we were able to order beverages to enjoy while making our nautical bracelets. Now, I'm drinking a Bloody Mary. Alyssa's having a mimosa because it is still fairly early in the morning when we're doing this, but when in Rome, right? So I gotta tell you that I suck at making bracelets. Mine ended up being destroyed because, I was getting very frustrated that I couldn't complete one of the steps and it kept falling apart in my hand. So I just gave up and drank and watched Alyssa make the bracelet. Alyssa's actually came out quite well. She has much more nimble hands, much nimble fingertips that she was able to actually do this part. And the part she's doing right now is the part that I gave up on because I could not get that to go through the correct way. And it was very, very frustrating for me. But I had a blast doing this. This was free, and we were there 30 to 45 minutes doing this, enjoying a beverage. That's free entertainment. That's included in your cruise fare. You should definitely check out the arts and crafts. And it's not just making bracelets. There were other things offered in various parts of the ship throughout the 10-day period. Alyssa's bracelet came out great. Look at that. Can't go wrong there. All right, after arts and crafts, we headed up to deck to the Red Frog Rum Bar. It was time to grab another drink. Why are we drinking so much and bar hopping so early in the day? Well, we do have a Carnival bar hop video for the Carnival Miracle. You should check that one out as well. It's a pretty good video. We've drank the 2 most popular drinks at every bar on the ship. After grabbing the Red Frog Rum Bar drinks, we played a few deck games on board. I did not win this one. This was the champagne ring toss. You basically had to throw a ring over a cone. And I think you got 3 chances. You moved on to the next level, and they kept whittling it down until there was only one. And the prize was a bottle of champagne. So it was pretty cool to check out, though. But we needed some balcony time after that. Listen, on an Alaskan cruise, I'm always going to tell you that you have to get a balcony. It's one of the most beautiful cruises, and to have your own private space that's outside is well worth it. That being said, we pretty much get a balcony on every single cruise we go on now because we're spoiled rotten with all the balconies that we've done. Hey, did you know on longer cruises, the MBR offers lunch on some of the sea days and brunch on some of the other ones? So we, for the first time ever in the history of us cruising with Carnival, took a cruise long enough to offer this lunch in the main dining room. It was actually quite nice. It was interesting to have something different. This was a menu we had never enjoyed before, and they offered some lighter fare, which was also nice. It was a nice alternative to the buffet food or a guy's burger for lunch that you might normally get on a day at sea. You know what? I give it an A+. I wish they offered lunch in the main dining room on shorter cruises as well. It was all fairly good, and having these lighter options, like Alyssa got that salmon salad, absolutely a good way to just kind of mellow down the heavier eating that we were doing throughout this cruise. Unfortunately, like I said, they only offered a couple of the sea days on these longer cruises, and I do believe it's a 9-day cruise minimum before they start offering these lunches, so just keep that in mind. You're not going to get to experience this on every single Carnival cruise. Hopefully, if enough people asked them to do it, they would start doing that for us because it really was good. Alright guys, we're gonna shock you here, but we went and ate more food right after lunch. We headed up to the Pizza Pirate. It might be called Pizza del Capitano on your ship. It's the same thing. Pizza Pirate, Pizza del Capitano. It's the complimentary pizza place on board Carnival Cruises. They have the exact same menu regardless of what you called it. We have a whole Carnival Pizza review video you can check out for detailed reviews on every slice that we enjoyed, which was everything off of their menu. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with pizza at sea, and Carnival definitely makes the absolute best pizza at sea. I will never not say that. Even a mediocre slice from there is still better than any pizza you're having on land. It's just delicious. They're open late too. They're one of the spots that's open until like 4 in the morning or something like that, so you can always get a slice of pizza. Up next, we went and spent some time at the Warehouse Arcade. The arcades have different names depending on what ship you're on. Some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller. I actually think the arcade on the Carnival Miracle is a pretty decent size, and they definitely make good use of the space, cramming in quite a few games. There are games in the arcade for every skill level and every age level. If you're an adult or if you're a child, you're going to find something fun to do in the arcade. And you can win tickets and then get prizes, which is always an added bonus. We feature the arcade in our activities at sea video, which came out just a couple of days ago. You should definitely go check that one out as well. Tyler had a great time in the arcade. You know, he's under age for gambling, or he had just become of age to gamble on this cruise, but he was so used to just spending time in the arcade that he still loves going and doing it, and we love spending time with him doing that as well. On our way to go get ready for our evening, we stopped and checked out some atrium entertainment. The violin trio on board Carnival ships is always a treat. You can't go wrong stopping and spending 20 or 30 minutes listening to these guys. Grab a drink at that lobby bar and head down there and listen, or watch them from up above like we did. We had a drink from a previous bar. Definitely worth the stop. All right, it's time to head to the MDR for dinner. This is the main dining room, and we always choose Your Time Dining because I don't like being told when to eat my meals, and Your Time Dining allows you a little more flexibility depending on what you have on your schedule that day. It's especially convenient if you on port days, because maybe you're in port longer and you don't want to eat right at 5:30 if you had that early time dining, and then you miss out and you're eating at the buffet for dinner. I gotta tell you, the main dining room really stepped it up on this ship. This is before the upgrade to the Emerald-inspired menu in the main dining room. So this is all, while they maintain some of the classics on the new Emerald-inspired menu, this is all going to be stuff from prior to that upgrade. The food was actually delicious, so I really do think the food in the main dining room this time was much better than our previous cruise on board the Radiance. I'm hoping we'll be on the Panorama this January, and we'll be trying the new Emerald-inspired menu. But I'm hoping that the quality from the Carnival Miracle continues over to the Panorama, because it was a good time for sure. After dinner, we head towards our favorite spot on the ship, the Alchemy Bar. I gotta tell you, we fell in love with the Alchemy Bar way back on the Inspiration or the Imagination, and it's been great ever since. Very rarely do I find bartenders that we don't get along with at the Alchemy Bar. It's entertainment. You're getting a drink and a show. It does take a little bit of time to get your drinks at the Alchemy Bar because they're taking orders for the entire bar, and then they make everybody's drink at once, and then they serve everybody's drink at once, and then they'll start a new batch. So just do keep that in mind. Hey, did you know that we tried every single drink on the Alchemy Bar menu and did a whole review video of absolutely everything the menu has to offer? Check that video out. It's linked at the end of this one, along with all of our food and beverage videos on board the Carnival Miracle. Most of them are going to be pretty good fleet-wide for most of the ships, so even if you're not going on the Miracle or you're not going to Alaska, you're going to find some good information in those videos. Definitely want to check those out. Look at this craft, guys. I mean, you're not going to get this up at the Red Frog Rum Bar or the Lobby Bar. This is art, what they're doing. They're creating artful beverages, and they all taste good with the exception of one I wasn't a huge fan of, but you'll have to check out that review video to find out which one that is. Hey, after a couple of drinks at the Alchemy Bar, you know what's a great time on board a Carnival ship? Heading up to the Carnival Deli. This is open usually 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. It is complimentary, included in your fare, and they have a menu containing 14 different sandwiches plus a couple of sides. And again, we also have a deli review video you can check out for detailed reviews of every single sandwich available at the Carnival Deli. Carnival Deli's fleet-wide, guys. You're going to find this on every single Carnival ship, and it can be hit and miss. Some of the sandwiches are absolutely delicious. Some of them, I could do without. But the fact that they're free and they're open late, they make a great spot for a late night snack, which is never a bad thing on board a cruise ship. We got to soak up that booze somehow, right? All right, guys, so that's pretty much how we ended our day 2 on board the Carnival ship. We've got another day at sea coming up tomorrow, but this day at sea was pretty fun. I know we spent most of it just eating and drinking constantly, but what else do you do on a Carnival cruise, right? Tomorrow we're going to check out some other activities for you. We're going to eat some more food. We're going to show you around more of the ship, and we're going to have a great time. And then on day 4, we actually get into our very first port in Alaska. So I'm excited to show you that in this video as well. If you don't mind, take a moment right now, hit that subscribe button, notification bell. We are giving out a $50 Amazon gift card that I'll talk about at the end of this video. And you know, you can win if you're a subscriber. All right, guys, good night. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, everybody. Day 3 on the Carnival Miracle, and we're going to hit up the Lido Marketplace for breakfast. Now, day 3 is going to seem a little light, and that's because we did most of our ship tour filming on this day. A lot of walking around just filming. I've got a whole Carnival Miracle ship tour video that you can check out. I'm going to link to all these videos I'm mentioning down in the description below so that you have a chance to get as much information as you want about Carnival cruising. So we start fairly early in the morning, right when the buffet opens. We had already done some filming prior to this in the morning, so we're up fairly early. We walk the track, that kind of thing. But we're just going to grab a light breakfast to get our day going, and then we'll go do some more filming before we eat again and drink again and eat a drink. It's a lot of eating and drinking today, guys. It's a fun day at sea. There are a lot of activities to do on the ship, but there's also a lot of food and beverage to be consumed. I do want to point out that at the breakfast buffet, they do have this omelet station. I know recently they've made changes where you can't really customize your omelet. They're still made to order, but they're limiting the time that you're in line. So you can walk up now and say, I want a veggie omelet, or I want a ham and cheese omelet, or just a cheese omelet, whatever have you. That being said, guys, I'm sure if you're real polite about it and there's not a line of 40 people behind you, you can be like, hey, I want your veggie omelet, but don't put the mushrooms in it. They're not jerks, okay? They're just trying to make your cruising experience more exciting and a better experience for you. I know a lot of people get fussy when the cruise line makes changes, but you know what? You have the option not to go on that cruise line, right? I think Carnival's great. Yeah, they've got their problems, but I don't think trying to speed up the omelet line is one of those problems. Breakfast is always good at the Lido Buffet. I honestly love breakfast at the Lido Buffet. Sure, potatoes can be hit and miss sometimes, but those little round hash brown cakes are my favorite thing on the planet. I absolutely love those. All right, so right after breakfast, we went and did a nature walk. So what this is because we were on an Alaskan cruise, they have a naturalist, and he's going to walk you around the upper decks and point out wildlife. If you're out at sea like we are on this day, it's a lot of bird and a lot of fish. And he, hey, look, right over there's the pod of dolphins. Get out your binoculars, zoom in, blah, blah. Very educational experience, very fun experience, and it's a come and go kind of thing. You all meet at the spa area here. He introduces himself, talks a little bit about what this nature walk's going to include, and then takes you up on deck, and you just hang out as long as you want with him. He'll answer whatever questions you have. If you're not on an Alaskan cruise, they'll have something similar to this that is geared more towards your port and your destinations, right? It might not be a nature walk pointing out flora and fauna, but it will be something up on deck that you can do, and it's included. As is the next item, which is arts and crafts. Yeah, we did some yesterday, but we're going to do them again as well. Today we're making cards, so they give you everything you need to make cards. And this worked out great for us on this cruise because it was actually my mom's birthday on this cruise, so we all made her cards. Now, granted, she was sitting right there with us, and she knew we were making her cards, but it was still kind of fun to just do a little arts and crafts. Grab a cocktail from the lobby bar. This was in the atrium, so you're right there. And then make cards. Like I mentioned before, though, you want to get there early to make sure that you get all the equipment that you need to do the art and craft, because they do run out. All right, up next, we're going to head up to the Serenity Bar and grab a quick beverage. I mentioned it before, but we did a bar hop video on the ship where we tried the 2 most popular drinks at every single bar on board the Carnival Miracle. And this would apply to most of the bars because fleet-wide, they're pretty much the same with very few exceptions on some of the newer ships. I love the Serenity Bar. It's a quiet place to go hang out. Up next, we grabbed our second meal of the day, which was Sea Day brunch. Yesterday, we did Sea Day lunch, which is only available on those longer cruises, but every Carnival cruise has Sea Day brunch on the Sea Days. I love Sea Day brunch, guys. It's absolutely delicious. It's nice that it's available from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m. because a lot of people, when you say brunch, they think later in the morning, and I can't go that long. I need food. So you can go as early as 8 a.m. and get your brunch on. It's a nice variety of food. They do have a couple upcharge things you can get for, but other than that, it's included in your cruise fare. One upcharge that we always go for, though, is the fresh squeezed juices, fresh pressed juices. We juice at home regularly, so it's nice to be able to have that experience on the cruise as well. And it's only $5 for fresh pressed juice, and it's kind of like you're going to get at a juice bar. They throw some ginger in, some turmeric, maybe some carrots, oranges, whatever. They've got 5 or 6 different ones, and they're great to help kind of cleanse yourself out. All right, after brunch, we're going to head to the Red Frog Pub. This is part of our bar hop. And again, you can check that video out. I'll link in the description below. Red Frog Pub is a place we like to hang out, especially on sea days, because they do a lot of karaoke in there. Generally speaking, on most of my experiences in the Red Frog Pub, is the staff is very lively, friendly, ready to have a good time with you. On occasion, you kind of get bum staff that they're not really feeling the vibe of the Red Frog Pub, because that is what that pub's about. It's about the vibe. But they've got games inside that you can play. We review it in depth in our bar hop video, and I'll let you go watch that one after this if you want. Up next, we decided to go grab lunch. Yes, this is our third meal of the day, and it's only like noon. We headed over to the Blue Iguana Cantina to grab some tacos and burritos. Alyssa went ahead and grabbed a shrimp burrito, and she loaded it the way she wanted. She tells them what to put in it, and they customize it right there in front of you. Their tortillas are hand-pressed. The tacos, same thing. You customize it, and then they have that whole amazing salsa bar where you can then add a wide variety of salsas and hot sauces to your food. I said it before and I'll say it again. I love Blue Iguana Cantina. It's one of my favorite spots to dine on board Carnival ships. Up next, another Sea Day tradition with Carnival is tea time. This is complimentary, usually runs from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. in the main dining room, usually up on whatever the your time dining section is. In the very aft of the ship is where they'll do it, or the aft of the dining room. Complimentary, you can upgrade your teas, but you can also drink the free teas, and then little finger sandwiches and macarons and different kinds of desserts and things like that. All complimentary. Nice little bonus meal in the afternoon. It's not very crowded because a lot of people A, don't know about it, or B, don't like doing tea. I love tea, so every single time they offer it, I'm gonna head over there. All right, after tea time, we went ahead and got dressed for the night and then headed to the Alchemy Bar. It is elegant night on this particular day, so we're gonna be a little fancy for tonight. We grabbed some drinks at the Alchemy Bar and then took them to a quiet spot to try to record. This was for our Alchemy video where we tried everything on the menu, so we were trying to give live reviews. You can see that in that Alchemy video, which again is linked in the description below. But Alchemy Bar is always kind of loud, kind of packed. They're playing live music, so we had to like go duck and find a place in the lobby area, the atrium area. All right. Before dinner, though, and after our Alchemy drinks, this particular day they offered a complimentary liquor tasting up in the fun shops. They took these away during COVID, and they're finally back, and I'm so excited because it's one of my favorite things. This particular one was a scotch tasting, so it featured a couple of different scotches. Their goal, obviously, is to get you to buy the scotches in the duty-free store there, but it's complimentary, and if you're nice to them, they'll usually pour a little extra for you. I've actually done one before that was a scotch tasting, and we got some pretty high-end scotches. This one featured some of the lower-end Johnny Walkers. All right, up next, we grabbed a drink at the Gotham Lounge. This is the main dining room bar, okay? It's only open really during dinner hours, and it closes fairly early, like 9 p.m. once dinner's over. They don't serve any specialty cocktails. It's your basic bar. You're gonna get your gin and tonics, your glasses of wine, your whiskeys, that kind of stuff. But it's a tasty place to grab a drink. All right, it's time for MDR dinner on day 3, fun day at sea. Like I said, I really think the main dining room has upped their game with this cruise. The food quality was just better, and I also feel like the service was a little speedier than our previous cruise on the Radiance, which I felt was kind of slow. Food was great. Again, remember, this is before the updated MDR menu that features some Emerald Lagasse dishes. So just keep in mind, some of the stuff that you see isn't going to be available on that new menu, but obviously the classics, that's going to be there. They know they're not fools. They're not going to get rid of things like the shrimp cocktail, right? All right, guys, that's honestly it for day 3. We did a lot of filming for other videos like ship tours and stuff. I figured you didn't need to see that in this. A lot of walking around the ship between these meals and these beverages. But tomorrow is day 4, and we're actually headed to our first port. I'm so excited to do that. We do have individual port videos that you can go check out that will feature more detailed information of each of those ports. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and catch some Z's, and we will see you bright and early in the morning. Good night. All right, guys, good morning. We are on day 4, and we're gonna hit up Java Blue Cafe. This is the specialty coffee bar. It is included if you have the Cheers package. We're gonna get some specialty spiked coffees, take them up, grab a quick bite to eat on the Lido deck buffet. Breakfast on the buffet is the same every day, so I'm not gonna show you breakfast today. We literally got another plate of omelet and potatoes and ham. Occasionally they'll mix up the meats a little bit. But anyway, it is 7 o'clock in the morning, and yes, those beverages are spiked because this was part of our bar hop video, so we had to make sure that we got a spiked coffee and a spiked tea. Up next, we're gonna head up to deck. We are gonna check out the Towel Animal Parade. Carnival's known for those towel animals, and they do this awesome parade on every ship on one of the days where you wake up and the entire pool area is surrounded by towel animals. It's just something cool. It's something fun. I know it bothers some people. They feel like it's a waste or something, but you know what? I love the towel animals. I hope they never go away. And on this cruise, we actually will be taking a class to learn how to make the towel animals, and we'll show you that in an upcoming video. This is part 1 of 3, guys, so, you know, it being a 10-day cruise, I had to break it up a little bit. So right now, we are in just part 1, covering days 1 through 4, and then we're going to cover days 5 through 7, and then 8 through 11 for the final video. So stay tuned for those. They'll be coming out consecutive days in a row. All right, up next, we decided to grab a bite to eat at Pizza Pirate again, because why not? Free pizza on a cruise ship, can't go wrong there. Again, we do have that pizza review video out there for you, which is linked in the description below. But, you know, it's never a bad day when you're chowing down on pizza at sea. While we were eating our pizza, we decided we wanted to hit up some more of the Carnival Deli. So we're going to head to the Carnival Deli next and grab a couple more sandwiches to try as part of our Carnival Deli review video. But, just know, pizza and deli sandwiches in the middle of the day makes for an amazing lunch. We actually really enjoyed these particular sandwiches. It was a little chillier this particular day because we had moved in towards the inside passage, so it was kind of nice to have some warm sandwiches up on deck. And then obviously we were also enjoying some adult beverages to go with it. That one right there is the, I think that one's the pastrami one. Pretty tasty, a little light on the meat, but pretty tasty. You can check out our full review in that deli video. And you would think that this would be enough food for us to enjoy as a lunch, but no, it was not on a cruise, because we also went ahead and grabbed some food from the Lido Marketplace buffet. We're getting into port fairly late this day because we left from San Francisco, as I've mentioned. It's a full 2.5 days, almost 3 days till you actually get up to Juneau. So we're in port in Juneau not until 2 p.m. So that's why you're seeing us in the morning on the ship and enjoying all this amazing food. 2 p.m., I think we were there until 10 p.m. I actually honestly can't remember. It might have been 9 p.m. Could have been 11 p.m. But we spent our morning into our early afternoon on board the ship. We particularly liked on this cruise the Chinese station at the buffet. They had it every day, and most of the cruises I've been on, they kind of mix it up where you get the Chinese food only 1 or 2 days. This trip, though, they had a Chinese station every single day, and I thought that was pretty cool. We also grabbed a couple more adult beverages, took this food and these beverages back to the Serenity deck. This was probably one of our favorite places to hang out on the ship that was outside. Because Serenity is 21 and over only, it meant it was slightly quieter. There weren't a lot of kid noise. And they have these cool little tables that you can sit at and bring your food and beverage to. Hey guys, you know what? After this meal and these beverages, we finally made it into port. Welcome to Juneau, Alaska. I'm going to give you a brief breakdown right now in this video, but you should absolutely check out our full in-depth Juneau video regarding this trip, where we go into detail and we review everything that we did there. We got a rental car, and I talk a lot about that in the other video. I highly recommend you grab that rental car. It's a great way to see Juneau. If you're just the kind of person that likes walking around town and doing the little kitschy shops and grabbing a bite to eat, you don't need it. The port is right there. There's plenty of things to do, plenty of places to eat right there. But Mendenhall Glacier's in Juneau, and you know, if you go to Juneau, I'm going to tell you that you have to go to the Mendenhall Glacier at least once in your life. I personally have been 3 times, and I'm going to go back a 4th time, a 5th time, as many times as my body's going to allow me, and as long as that glacier exists, I will continue going. First off, the drive there is absolutely stunning. Look at how tall these trees are surrounding the road that you're on. Plus, you're going to see a ton of eagles. They like to hang out up on the telephone poles and the lamp posts. Just while you're driving, you might see 20, 30 eagles between town and the Mendenhall Glacier. Mendenhall Glacier is kind of tucked back a ways off of a side spur road, but that side spur road's a stunning drive. That's part of the adventure going back there. Just know, if you take the excursion to Mendenhall Glacier, sometimes the buses drop you out at the front of that spur road, and you have to walk the extra 1.5 miles in to actually get to the Mendenhall Glacier area. Plenty of hiking to do around here, plenty of sightseeing to do. It's relatively flat. All the trails are flat, unless you want to do some of the more advanced ones that kind of go up into the mountain, which you are free to do. Mendenhall Glacier is free, by the way, guys. You only have to pay the $5 if you want to go into the visitor center. So if you just want to go explore nature and check out the trails, maybe see some bears, check out the waterfall and the glacier itself, or even go in this lake here, it's no cost. So I really do think that excursions through the cruise ship here are kind of overpriced. If you have a group big enough to get a rental car, you should definitely just do that. We headed back into town and we decided to stop for a quick bite to eat at Hangar at the Wharf. This is a locals joint. I give a very in-depth review in that Juneau video, but I do want you to get a little sneak peek. We just grabbed, I'm gonna call them appetizers, but we got a few of them to kind of bulk it up a little bit, and then we wanted to try a few beers. Pardon the red lighting in here. There's a huge red neon sign above us, so that kind of skewed all the lighting for this particular section of the video. Beers were good, food was decent. Not a whole lot of problems. I'd probably go back, I would think. But, you know, it is what it is. We did have some service problems there, but I'll talk about that in another video for you. Next up, we went over to Barnaby Brewing. Really super close. Like these things are 400 feet away from each other. Barnaby Brewing, local craft brewery. We went in, had a flight. Interesting little fact, taps at breweries have to shut off by 8 p.m. in Alaska. Bars are allowed to stay open, but craft breweries like this one, the taps have to close at 8 p.m. So do keep that in mind if you're there later in the day for your port stop. Make sure you hit those breweries early on. On that side note, Mendenhall Glacier is actually open late, 24 hours a day, in fact. So you could go get your beer on and then go to the Mendenhall Glacier. Oh, that's the cat from the brewery, by the way. Absolutely adorable. Lovey, lovey, lovey cat. We did some shopping, a little bit of shopping on the way back to the ship. The problem is that because we were there so late, the shops all closed fairly early. Some of them at 6, some 7, some 8 o'clock. So not a whole lot was open. I would probably do it in reverse if I did it again. I would do all my shopping and my breweries and stuff first and then go out to the Mendenhall Glacier. We headed back to the ship and grabbed Bonsai Sushi Express. We do talk about this in depth in our food and drink of Carnival Cruise Lines video, which is linked in the description below. Just know Bonsai Sushi is one of my favorite places on any Carnival ship. The Express is on some of these ships, and then they have a full service restaurant on the other ones. It's the same seafood, guys. The only difference is like you can't get the boat at the Express. But great food, great time. We love Bonsai Sushi. So far, this trip's been absolutely amazing. Unfortunately for you and unfortunately for me, that's gonna end this video right here. We're gonna move on, and tomorrow we're gonna show you days 5 through 7. Very excited for that. It's more ports of call, and then we'll wrap up with part 3. I do just want to say we appreciate you guys hanging with us during the 12 days of Vlogmas, and I want to make a special announcement. As of this video right here, we hit our goal for 2023 on subscribers, so that means we will be giving away that $50 Amazon gift card after the 12 days of Vlogmas. I've got some info coming up on that in just a moment in the video, but in the meantime, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure. Bye from Alaska. Hey everybody, Andrew from Braggins Adventures, and I wanted to take a quick moment to remind you to make sure you click subscribe and ring that notification bell. Why? Because we're giving out a $50 gift card to one lucky subscriber for Amazon.com. Now, to make this contest happen, we have to hit 400 subscribers by January 5th. So make sure you tell your friends to come on over and click that subscribe button.